What up, everybody? This is my very first video ever I'm actually doing for YouTube, and reason being, I figured a lot of people have or own, or you see on the streets, 06 or Chrysler Pacificas in general. This specific model we have is a 06 Chrysler Pacifica. It's got the 3.5 V6 front-wheel drive. This vehicle originally is for, or I gave it as a gift to my aunt, because she had a 99 Stratus that was just completely horrible, falling apart. So I kind of took it upon myself to give it to her as a gift. When I first seen the vehicle, originally it had 92,000 miles. The individual, a female actually, was selling it. I did the mistake of not running a Carfax report on the spot. She presented me one on her phone, which indicated it was like around 92,000 miles. And I did the mistake of not running it on my own. So please, people, it's very important to run it on your own. You never know if there's people trying to scam you out there. It's a shame because people actually, they work hard for the money and you get gypped off like that. So the car actually had 100,000 miles more than what it had. So it came out to about over 191,000 miles. So it's a big difference, and especially a big difference with maintenance. There's a lot more other issues that could arise because it's an extra 100,000 miles. So I actually had to put about over $1,000 in parts easily. I got everything on Amazon, so that was a good thing. I saved a lot of money. Everything from any type of sensor you could possibly imagine, crank, cam, speed sensors, mass airflow sensor, everything, any little sensor on the engine for the most part, and the trans. The motor got a little overhaul too. Fuel injector, spark plugs and ignition coils were replaced. A whole gasket kit. Performance filter from K&N. The blower motor and the resonator, I believe, for the AC, because every time I turned it up to setting number 4, it would automatically shut off. So you could only take it to about the third setting on the fan, and the fan would just stop working. I also went ahead and I did the alternator as well, because I looked up a lot of the YouTube videos, a lot of reviews on the car itself, and one of the main issues too was it seemed like a lot of sensors were out of whack, and one person suggested changing out the alternator, and that actually fixed it. And people were saying that they had to buy a new transmission, and that's like easily over around $2,000 job just for the tranny. But luckily, it was not the tranny in this case. I went ahead and just did it for her so she wouldn't have to worry about it. Alternator was switched out, and then also the tranny was serviced. New gasket on that. Change out, obviously, oil change. The oil used was a Mobil 1 synthetic. I wasn't going to put Royal Purple in it, but it's a little too expensive for her, and I wanted more ease of convenience, so I went ahead and just did the Royal Mobil 1. Same thing for the tranny. Mobil 1 synthetic transmission fluid on that too. The struts, we changed out the struts, the brakes in front, and also a major issue for Chrysler Pacificas around from 04 to 06 or 07. A lot of the issues, the factory was sending them out without undercoating the subframe where the engine and the tranny rest. I found out the hard way. I took it to my mechanic, who's actually done all the work and saved me thousands of dollars, as opposed to taking it to the dealer and to do all this work. He took pictures for me, and he was like, yeah, this one major issue with these vehicles is the subframe that rusts out completely. And I literally had holes in the subframe where the engine rests. I got very lucky. I did find one for about, I think, $500 or $600, and it was coming from Nevada. So the dry climate out there is actually perfect, preserved it perfectly well. And since we're from Illinois, Chicago, obviously the salt is a major issue for subframes or frames themselves if they're not coated correctly. And Chrysler did not coat them, so as a result I had to get a new one. We got a new one, $600, or a used one that looked pretty much new. We just did minor sanding to it, and then completely undercoated the new subframe. So it's completely covered, like almost like a rhino liner type of texture. It was bought at one of the auto shops. So that was a major issue. And then we have another one, which is the exhaust system. I'm currently on my way to the shop right now to change out the catalytic converter, which the engine light's on. What else? The resonator, a new muffler, and an exhaust tip with a built-in resonator in it. I am going to see how this sounds. Right now it sounds kind of horrible, almost like a fart cannon's on it. We have an exhaust leak for sure. It's a catalytic converter is leaking, and also the muffler. So I took it to a shop to kind of give me an estimate. They showed me underneath the vehicle. So again, these are parts that I purchased on my own from Amazon and did quite a bit of research on them. Obviously I didn't want anything performance because it is just a 3.5 V6. It's not a sports vehicle or anything. So I'll let you listen in case you guys have any of these issues. It's kind of good to know what to expect and what to hear. So I'll go ahead and I'll let you listen, and hopefully I'll pick up where I left off with how it sounds, the new vehicle.